I know it's been long in social media because I'm out there looking for money, you know what it is. And as you know, election period is fast approaching and there's been so much happening. But the highlight really of my week, really has been Davido and the entire Osun State election. That's been really, really interesting for me. I mean, to see how Davido will put out put his career on the line, put everything on hold to see that his uncle, wins the next election. I mean, wins this election, as a matter of fact. I think that's really exciting, to be quite honest. I mean, the last couple of weeks has been really, really interesting. And for those of you who are following Nigerian politics, it's been really interesting to see how Davido has really, really, how passionate he is to ensuring that his uncle, became the governor of Osun State. And for those of you in his DM asking for nudes, you don't have to search any longer because dude let it all out. I think the most interesting one for me really is the Adeleke family. To see how a family unit can stick together, to achieve a common goal. I think that for me is really what the, African dream should be about, about everyone sticking together to ensure that we achieve a common goal. I mean, if we treat the election like, network marketing, 5 people bring 5 people, another 5 people bring another 5 people, you know what that would do? Do you get me? If we, as young people, look at it like that, it's not enough to just, sit back on Twitter or in our small corners and talk about, oh, this is who is the best candidate and blah. No, you should actually be, an advocate for good governance. Speaking about 2023, a lot has been happening in Lagos, and the Lagos story really it can't go without being talked about. I really cannot talk about Nigeria policy and talk about Lagos because I live in Lagos. But then, of course, because it's really a interesting thing playing out right now in Lagos. I mean, there's supposed to be opposition. That's why it's called democracy. Democracy is supposed to give people the options to pick from. So you decide between A to Z, who do you want to pick? And that's why we go to the ballot and cast our vote for our favorite candidates, right? But in Lagos, it's like, is there no one else? Like, is there literally no one else? Because and that can only mean one thing. It's either we've all agreed that the APC are doing a fantastic work and therefore should go unopposed, or we just really should forget about election in Lagos. Because what is this happening with the opposition? Like, what are their candidates? The PDP have put forward 2 candidates that, if I talk about them, we'll be here for another 3 hours, literally. One of the opposition candidates, I don't want to mention names, but if you ever seen Omogeto, they know what I'm talking about. But yeah, talked about having 20 million followers and on Instagram, and that for her is her ticket too, And I'm thinking, like, does this 20 million people live in Lagos? So that is literally saying that everybody in Lagos follow you. Auntie, come on, let's be serious now. Like, let's be really serious. Like, that's just, but I think for me, you could tell by the body language of APC and the body language of the governor of Lagos. He's not even bothered. It's like, guys, he's sure that the next 4 years will be here. So like, there's literally no opposition. If I'm someone who I literally will come out in front of the governor's and be screaming, is there no one else? Literally, is there no one else? And for me, that's not the highlight, for the last few weeks. I don't know if you're aware that NNPC recently rebranded to, wait for it, NNPC. Like, that's a no-brainer. But yeah, that's not. But the key thing for me is the whole event. Apart from the fact that there were no notable people from Niger Delta in attendance, I mean, those who really own the oil in attendance for this event. But it's safe to say it's Nigerians' oil, so yeah, it belongs to all of us. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that. But the most important thing for me, or the highlight for that event, for me, is Asha's performance. So I'm guessing this is the conversation they had with Asha. It's like, So Asha, you're gonna have to come and entertain the president and his friends. Please, Asha, sing your nice songs. Sing just the feel-good songs. And lest I forget, Asha, do not sing Fire on the Mountain. Please. Please, Asha, don't sing Fire on the Mountain. Asha's like, oh yeah, cool. Fine, no problem. No Fire on the Mountain. And on the day of the event, Asha walks off the stage with a straight face, not talking to anybody. She didn't even say hello to the president. She goes straight to the mic and gets the first song she sang. Exactly. Fire on the Mountain, right in the presence of the president and his friends, you know, and she sang Fire on the Mountain. But I don't know if anyone noticed in that performance that she kept pointing to the president. Literally, she would do, one day the river will overflow to the president. She just, you know, like, I thought that took a lot of guts, you know, and that's for me, really, it's like the highlight for my week. That is the Queen, and I stand, you know, come on. Like, there's no better way to tell the president, because obviously, you can tell that the president is circled with a lot of sycophants, you know, people who would, you know, kiss his ass, yes men, but it's so really inspiring, to be quite fair, and it takes a lot of courage, you know, for somebody like her to put, I mean, I doubt if they ever call her up for a presidential show. I'm sure she probably doesn't even give a damn about it. Yeah, but to put her career on the line, put everything on the line, just to ensure that she speaks directly to the president and tell him straight to his face that, Mr. Man, there is truly, really fire on the mountain. And until I see you again next time on the Showdem show, fellas and female, peace out.